Mom's laughter was the first thing that cut through the air. That soft, habitual giggle she used whenever something uncomfortable hovered at the edge of a conversation. "She'll just stay at your place a while," she said, looking between me and my sister. "You won't even notice she's there." I stood, calm, too calm. "Funny," I said, my voice steady, "I haven't lived there for 6 weeks." The laughter died mid-breath. Dad's fork froze halfway to his mouth. And Mom's face, it paled before her voice trembled. "Wait, then where exactly have you been staying?" That question wasn't innocent. She already feared the answer. Back when I trusted her, my sister used to crash at my apartment all the time. She said she needed space from home, from Mom's criticism, Dad's indifference. I understood. She was younger, wilder, and I always played the role of the calm one, the responsible one. She'd bring her laughter, her messy energy, her endless stories. And when I met Ryan, the man I thought I'd spend my life with, she was the first person I introduced him to. He said she reminded him of me. I should have listened to the unease in that compliment. Because over time, their laughter synced too easily. They shared jokes I wasn't part of. Her perfume lingered in places she'd never sat. And one night, while he showered, I checked his phone, something I had never done before. One message, from her. "I miss how quiet it gets when you hold me." My hand didn't shake. Not then. Not even when the water turned off and he came out, towel around his waist, smiling like he owned the world. I looked him in the eye and smiled back. That was the night I stopped reacting. I left everything exactly as it was. The apartment, the relationship, the lies. I didn't confront, didn't scream, didn't even flinch. I just started moving pieces, quietly. I found a short-term rental under my colleague's name. Small, unremarkable, cash only. I transferred most of my savings into a new account. Then, with a little help from my friend in IT, I duplicated Ryan's cloud backup. Every message, every photo, every whispered confession between them. 6 weeks. That's how long I'd been gone before tonight. In that time, I'd watched their little charade bloom. My sister redecorated our apartment. Ryan updated his social media. New beginnings. And I built their ending. The first move was simple, a legal notice. Ryan's company had a strict clause about inappropriate relationships affecting client trust. I forwarded screenshots from an anonymous email to his HR. The messages were explicit enough to make him a liability. He was fired 2 days later. He blamed my sister. She blamed him. The second move was slower. My sister had been using my address for her college loan applications. I sent a quiet tip to the loan office about potential fraud, someone using an address that didn't belong to them. The investigation froze her funds mid-semester. By the 4th week, they were both drowning. But I wasn't finished. Which brings me to tonight, the family dinner. Mom had insisted we all gather after so long. Ryan wasn't invited, but my sister was. She showed up late, tired and defensive, the way guilt wraps itself around someone who's run out of lies. I'd planned this moment, down to the chair I'd sit in, the words I'd choose, the silence that would follow. Funny, I haven't lived there for 6 weeks. It landed exactly as I wanted. I watched realization flicker across Mom's eyes, the dawning horror of what that meant. Because my sister had been staying at my place for the past month, sleeping there, hosting Ryan there, and I hadn't been home. Her fork slipped from her fingers. The clatter echoed like a confession. "Where?" Mom whispered again, her voice cracking. "Have you been staying?" I looked straight at my sister. In a quiet little apartment downtown. Alone. A pause. "You know, it's peaceful when no one's pretending." Her eyes filled, not with remorse, but panic, because she understood. Everything I had done. Everything I had taken. She started to say my name, but I cut her off. Don't bother. You've both lost enough words to lies. The rest was silence. Dinner ended early. Mom called me later, crying, not because she pitied me, but because she finally saw what her perfect younger daughter had become. Ryan tried to call too. I never answered. His number's probably disconnected now, given how quickly bad reputations spread in small cities. And my sister? She moved back home. Couldn't afford rent, couldn't afford school, couldn't face me. People think revenge is loud. It isn't. It's the sound of everything going still. The quiet satisfaction of knowing you were underestimated until it was too late. I don't hate them anymore. I don't need to. Every time I pass by my old building, I smile. Because somewhere in there, memories rot like old fruit. Theirs, not mine.